Wednesday in the month of April. We thank you for awakening us in our right minds. We thank you for your protection over us while we slept. And we just thank you for enabling us to come once again on this platform where we can be energized, where we can learn, where we can continue to grow, and where we can continue to form friendships. Thank you for bringing each lady here this morning. We pray that you will continue to bless each person. You know what her needs are. So thankful, Lord, for the reminder that has come saying that your word or your touch does the same healing, the same power is in each. And so this morning, Lord, we pray that you'll speak a word or give a touch to each woman this morning. And whatever that need is, each of us have a physical need. Lord, touch us or speak to that need for us this morning. It may be a financial, social, emotional, spiritual need, because you're the God who can do anything but fail. We pray that you will reach down and bring healing in whatever areas needed. Thank you again for your availability. Thank you for inviting us into your presence. And in turn, we say, again, you are welcome in this space. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On this morning, special welcome to Christine Powell. That is Miss Edith's daughter. So let's say welcome, Christine.
Welcome.
Christine.
And we have returning Kalantha David. Thank you again for joining us again, Kalantha. Let's welcome Kalantha again.
Welcome, Kalantha.
Now, Kalantha, next week,
Thank you.
we'll be welcoming the new ones. You will no longer be a guest, okay?
Right, should be a
You have
member.
twice to be a guest. So thank you again, Ivy, for reaching out and being an ambassador. And thank you, of course, Miss Edith, for inviting your daughter. You reminded her this morning, get yourself on Let's Talk, and she obeyed. That's a faithful daughter. Thank you again for each of you joining with us this morning. Thank you and welcome to Let's Talk. Every day is a new beginning. So right now, take a deep breath, everyone. Exhale, smile, and start again. Let's go one more time. Every day is a new beginning. Take a deep breath. Let's go. Exhale, smile, and start again.
Amen.
A new day to start again. Our mantra, worry, listen to this, worry won't stop bad things from happening. Let me say that again. Worry won't stop bad things from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good.
That's right.
I found this. I said, worry won't stop bad things from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good. So start to enjoy the good, because you can't stop the bad things from happening by worrying. That's a good mantra to tuck right in our minds. A good mantra to tuck right there. In the news, what did I seen the news this week. How many of you who live here in the US, thumbs up, you shop at Publix?
What?
Shop at Publix? Okay, I do. That's one of my stores. I shop at Publix. Well, in the news at a Publix in Fort Myers, that's in Florida, a friendship developed. A lady by the name of Rachel Smith was a customer at this Publix, and she always took her toddler, a little girl, with her. And Gilnet, who was a grocer working at this Publix, would always smile with her daughter and say, give me high five, and the little toddler would give him high five until the toddler began to call him high five. She would refer to him by that name of high five. Well, during COVID, you know, hardly anybody was going out to shop. And so this little girl is now 6 years old. Her name is Fiona. And when she was 3, prior to COVID, Gilnet, the grocer, fell in love with this little girl, always coming with her mom and high-fiving him, that he bought her first bicycle. Got from him, the grocer. And now that she turned 6, her mom returned to the Publix, but he no longer works there. And on inquiring where was Gilnet, he was transferred to another store. So she went to the store with her 6-year-old daughter, Fiona, to meet and reconnect with this young man, Gilnet. And they were so happy to see each other, little 6-year-old and a grocer embracing, and they're showing love. And the mom, Rachel, was so inspired by this young man and his friendliness. In fact, she says that in her words, Publix has that culture of kindness, and I can attest to that. If you want a clean shop, you go there. And you want kindness, it doesn't matter whose job it is, they will help you, they will assist you. That's what I've found also with their service. Well, because of that friendship, Rachel Smith has now started a charity called Who's Your High Five, where she encouraged people to think of persons who have been good to you, who make you feel like giving a high five, or who have given a high five to you. She has now started that charity, so others begin to talk of others who impacted their lives. I thought that was such a wonderful story, showing just how a little kindness could go a long way and make
Little
a
things mean
difference
a
in
lot.
someone's life until they begin to pass it on. Anybody has such an experience of someone who has made a great impression in your life, you want to say high five? Anybody, quickly, that you could think of, somebody who has impacted your life, you want to say high five? Anybody?
I want to
I
say
do.
high five to Mrs. Spence, because she has impacted my life.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Go on, Christine Powell. No, Christine. This one.
okay. I want to say high five to Miss Maureen Banton, because she has helped me when Christian was a little baby and I started college. She helped take care of him for me. And also Miss Spence, who took us in.
Yeah, don't
Love you.
forget me.
I won't forget you. Mm-mm.
I help with him too. Okay.
Yeah, you take such,
That's a
hello,
whole
every day
story.
talk about the
Help with
reading.
son. All right.
Talking.
Okay.
Okay, I am next.
Okay. Don't
I want to broadcast this. I've never said it before. I want to say high five to Blanche. She doesn't know why, but I'm telling everybody I have 2 lovely children, and she's the reason I have these 2 children. You have to figure it out.
Yes, let's leave that story alone.
Yes.
Let's leave that story alone. Okay, let's leave that alone. Let's review our vocabulary. Let's segue to our vocabulary before Jenilyn gets herself in trouble. All right. Now, you're going to see the definitions and see if you can remember without referring to your notes what that vocabulary word was. What's the first definition? Oh, you put the, oh, extreme eagerness. What's that word? Unscramble.
Oh, I'm scrambling.
Oh.
What's that word? Unscramble. Extreme eagerness. Don't refer back to your notes.
Avidity.
Avidity. Who's that A student? Avidity. Yes. Next one. Make something clear. Make something clear. Unscramble.
I do that.
It's a lewd something or another, but I can't remember the rest.
Elucidate.
I do-
Elucidate.
Elucidate.
Elucidate. Next one. Impossible to satisfy. Impossible to satisfy. Anyone? Unscrambling? Norma? No one? Okay, what's that? Impossible to, insatiable, insatiable. Next one.
But I'm not.
Everyone should know this. Purposeful, determined, unwavering.
Illustrious.
What is that one? Unwavering. What's that? Resolute.
Dilute.
Resolute. Next one. Easily influenced. Pliable. Malleable. Good. Malleable. Good. And period of inactivity. Period of inactivity.
Stasis.
Stasis.
Stasis. Stasis. And the last one. One more.
No, I believe that's all.
Okay. There was one. Let me give you this. Object. Object or aim. You should know this. Everyone should shout this out.
To what?
Tell us.
Object or aim. What's that, Sharon?
Tell us.
Tell us. Tell us. Object or aim. Tell us. You need to review your words. Okay, review your vocabulary words. And now time for tips and tricks. Time for tips and tricks. What do you do if you have a button on your shirt or blouse, jacket, and it's ready to drop off? To secure that button temporarily, what do you do?
Take the piece of thread from it and wind it around it.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that. Anybody else?
Sometimes you use a common pin to itch it.
Yeah, it depends on if the
type
button
of
has
button.
that
Right.
little piece. Yes. What else can you do to secure your button? Because you know sometimes it's difficult to find a matching button if you lose it, and you need to hold that in place.
Take it
Anybody else?
off.
What's a trick?
Take it off.
No, you may not want to, because if you're out, it depends on where that button is. You don't want the button to
I
be
found this for you.
in the middle of your chest and take it off. No. So what would you do? Anybody has a trick or a tip?
Somebody said pin already.
Yes, it depends on if it's a flat button, you
Pearl
can't
button.
use it.
If it's a
What
pearl
is
button,
that?
if it's
Glue
a
it
pearl
on.
pin, it only have one.
What is that, Andrea?
If it's a pearl button, you can pin it. But
Yes,
if it's
yes,
two-way, you cannot pin it. No.
that's right. So we try to find out what to do if you don't have a pearl button. Well,
Oh.
this is a tip. You someone is saying something?
You
Do
can
it.
stay.
Oh God. Okay, this is a tip. You want to write it down that you can do, especially if you're out. And that is, they said, use clear nail polish
Oh.
and polish the thread. Put it over the threads and it will stay in place. clear nail polish over the threads and it will keep the button in place. Just paint the thread. So that's a good trick for us to keep in mind, especially as we are out and we have clothes with buttons. What about when your hem is coming out? What can you do for you to secure your hem?
Masking tape.
That's right. That's right. You've never used it? Yes, you are out at work or something, that hem is coming out and you can find some masking tape. You tape that hem right in place and you're good to go. No one knows any better until you can get to repair it. Yes, masking tape. I've used that before. Hem thread coming out. That's right. So now you learn some new tips and tricks. Keep your button secure and keep your hem from sagging. And now we will segue to our tech tip.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Spence. I'll be bringing your tech tip for today. Last week, I had a little bit of technical difficulties trying to share my phone's screen. It's a new phone, so successfully I was able to get that resolved this past week. Last week, what were we talking about? I know it was a little bit short and maybe a little too quick, but I'm still going to give you an opportunity. Can you tell me what we spoke about last week?
Notifications and I think, was it D&D?
Yes, that's right. We were doing the do not disturb and how do we activate it? How do we turn it off? And how do we make exceptions to it? So one of the things I wanted to show you last week was how to have your favorite contacts, whether it's your family members, your close friends, whomever. There's a way in your phone, I'm gonna go with the assumption that most people have probably an Android phone as opposed to an iPhone, but iPhones also have the same capability. But for the sake of time and trying to gather the largest amount of people as possible, I am going to show you how you're able to add a favorite contact to your contacts list. What that will do is I'll pop them up to the top. That means that you don't have to scroll all the way through to find their name anymore. And also, because we're talking about the do not disturb notifications, what I wanted to show you last week was you can make those same favorite contacts the exception to the rule. Meaning, I don't want anyone to talk to me. I don't want anyone to disturb me. I don't want anyone to wake me up. But if one of these people were to send me a text or give me a call, please let my phone ring so that I know that something is up. So I'm going to show you a quick video of how to add a favorite contact. It's 1 minute. And then I'll show you how to then go ahead and make exceptions in your do not disturb list. So here we go.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a contact to your favorites. So all you have to do is go to your contact list, find a contact that you're wanting to add to your favorites. If you want to add a contact to the favorites, if you notice the little star beside the person's name, tap on that and that will automatically add that person as a favorite. So if I scroll on up, you will see that this person has been added into the favorites and it will stay at the top of your contact list so that it's easy to get to.
All right, that was pretty straightforward, right? You find the contact, you hit the star, voila, they've been added to your favorites list. So with that information in mind, if I were then to go to my phone and say, well, I was talking about the do not disturb, let me go there now. If I were to go to settings, notifications, and I were to go to do not disturb, If you see here, there's an option called exceptions, meaning exceptions to the rule. What would I like to do? My typical do not disturb time is between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. That's usually when I'm trying to sleep. So I don't want my phone vibrating, emails and missed texts or missed calls. I just rather deal with it in the morning. But if my mom is calling me after 10, I'm assuming something is wrong. I would not want to miss that call. So I am going to want my do not disturb to create exceptions to the rule. We just found out how to add a favorite contact. It was very simple. Now that I'm in my do not disturb screen, I can click on calls, messages, and conversations. And I can select some options here. The first one is calls, meaning I don't want it, it's saying none, saying I don't want anyone to call me and alert my phone. But I can change that and say, well, I really just want my favorite contacts to be able to alert me during my do not disturb period. So if I were to select that, now, if my mom or my dad or my family or my friends or my loved ones, if they were to call now, I would get the alert and I would be able to answer it real time. There's a toggle here to say, if someone calls more than once in 15 minutes, automatically alert me. I want that to stay on personally because it may be from an unknown number. Let's say, God forbid, a neighbor has to call me to tell me something is wrong. I would want them to try again. And if they were to try again, that phone is going to ring. So I'm able to do calls. I'm able to go to messages and say, yes, I want my favorite contacts to be able to message me during this period of time, and I want to be able to get those messages. And likewise, conversations. If I had a priority conversation, I can do the same as well. These two in particular are where you're going to get most of your communication, calls and messages. So I wanted you to have this idea of, if you're having difficulty going to sleep at night, staying asleep at night, and you're like, I can't sleep because my phone keeps going off for whatever reason, there's an option where you can set up your do not disturb. And how to do that is very simple. You just add your schedule. You can say every day, Sunday through Saturday, I don't want to be disturbed between 10 p.m. You can, scroll from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7, whatever. And my end time, you can take off my do not disturb at 6 a.m., 4 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever the case may be. Voila. Once you hit save, as soon as 10 p.m. or whatever time you've set is created and the clock strikes that time, it automatically will mute all of your notifications unless you've made exceptions. And that's what I wanted to show you. So I figured it was pretty quick, pretty simple, but something I think that you all may benefit from. So I'm going to ask you a question or two, and then we'll segue. So the first question is, what did we just learn? Hopefully that's simple enough. Who would like to answer it before I am compelled to call on someone? Who would be able to answer that question? What did we just learn?
We learned how to turn on D&D, which is basically do not disturb. We are able to pick the times that we do not want to be disturbed. And if there's a certain person or people that we don't mind being disturbed by during that time, we have an exception where we can go through our, in the exceptions, we can go through and pick the people that we do not mind getting messages from during that time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Alvin. Very, very good. The only other question I will ask then is how do we add someone to our favorites contacts? And I'm gonna call on someone who's actually looking away from the screen. Oh, and then everyone magically looks at the screen. Miss Maureen, I know that you've been trying your hardest to avoid it, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. And I'll help you along. So if you unmute for me, I'm gonna ask you a simple question. How do we add a favorite? How do we add or edit one of our contacts to make them one of our favorite contacts?
All I remember is go to your contact list, and when you see the person's name, there's a star there, and you click on that star, and then whenever you're scrolling, you'll see the star beside the person's name.
Perfect, perfect. That's 100% right. You did an excellent job. Very, very good. So yes, those are the two things. You learn how to make a favorite contact. That way you don't have to keep scrolling to find your family or friend's name. And then on top of that, if you want to make sure that during the hours that you would like to not be disturbed, you now have an option to set a schedule and make exceptions to the rule. That way you be sure to get the most important notifications during that time. So that's it. I think that's simple enough. As always, I'm going to encourage you to please try it on your phone. You won't destroy your phone. You won't ruin it. You won't damage it. I promise you, you won't get lost. There's always a way back. So feel free to try it. And we will now segue to the next part of the show.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I know that's going to be useful, even the first part with putting your favorite people at the top.
That's true.
Yes, everyone. Right, Norma? Right. Let's go now to our health quiz. Let's go to our health quiz.
You'll have 9 questions that will pop up on your screen. 3 options for each question. It's pretty simple. So we'll give you about 3 minutes. Please be sure to hit the submit button at the bottom of the screen. Here we go. We're gonna give you about 20 more seconds. Ten seconds. All right, be sure to hit the submit button at the bottom of your screen, and we will now share the results.
Oh, the first question reads, which is better for your family's hearts? I figured that would have been the answer. I'm looking at your response. Most of you said chicken breast. Well, do you know the research says extra lean ground beef is lower in cholesterol. It has more B12, iron, zinc, which boosts energy. And it says if you're buying it, I don't encourage you to eat red meats. For those of you who do, look for the kind that says 97 to 99% lean on the label. And if you're eating it, your portion size should be that of a deck of cards. So that's extra lean ground beef. I knew that would be a surprise. It was for me as well. Question 2, which has less sugar? 71% said vanilla frozen yogurt. They are about the same. The vanilla ice cream and the vanilla frozen yogurt, they have the same amount of sugar and the same amount of calories. That's something you may, hope you're taking notes if you eat these things so you know what you need to stay away from. Which has fewer calories? This was interesting too as I researched this. Fewer calories would be your baked potato. Baked potato is half the calories of a serving of brown rice. How many of you, thumbs up, you eat the potato skin? Well, if you eat the skin, you'll even get more vitamin C, you'll get more fiber, you'll get more potassium. It is since I live here now that I've learned to eat the potato with the skin. So when I make my homemade fries, I do not peel the potatoes anymore. I just cut them up, olive oil, a little bit of salt, and I bake them. So eat the potato skin as well. You have less in a baked potato than you do in a serving of brown rice. Fourth question, which is healthier? Which is healthier? They all have, this is interesting, the same amount of empty calories, both brown sugar and white sugar, that we should limit in our diet. Both have empty calories. I use brown sugar and have to be mindful of that. Both have the same empty calories. Question number 5, which is a better breakfast choice? Better breakfast choice would be your whole wheat English muffin. Whole wheat English muffin. It has half the calories and salt that the bagel has. Bagel has more salt, more calories than the whole wheat English muffin. Question number 6, which is better for your family? And we all, no, we didn't. That would be your regular oatmeal. your old-fashioned rolled oats, old-fashioned rolled oats. That's what you need to stick with, old-fashioned rolled oats. Question number 7, and this was amazing as I shared this with my husband. Which has less sugar, apple juice or the orange juice? And this really, really surprised me. Which one has less sugar? And the less sugar is the orange juice. I always thought it was apple juice. The less is the orange juice. It is said that apple juice, the sugar in apple juice is about the same amount as you would find in a can of cola, Coca-Cola or Pepsi Cola. And that was very interesting, very interesting. So it says even the unsweetened apple juice has more sugar than orange juice, 100% pure orange juice. That amazed me. That was amazing. Question number 8, which is better? Which one of these fish? And we all know that it's salmon, good omega fats, very good. Salmon, a good fish to eat if you eat fish. And question number 9 says, which is healthier? Is it the vegetarian baked beans or the baked beans with bacon? Well, they're about the same. They're about the same. All of them, they're about the same. In fact, it says they have the same half a cup of either the vegetarian baked beans or half a cup of the baked beans with bacon. You will still get half the amount of sugar that a woman should have a day. So you eat those, you're going to already take in half of the sugar you should have for the day. And that's only with one meal. So that means stay away from that. So I reminded you last week too, whenever you see any OSE, oos or ouse, fructose or fructose or dextrose and maltose, all those O's, they are sugar. Anytime you read your ingredients and see OSE, that's sugar. So that's our health quiz for this morning. Anybody got 100%? No? 1 wrong? 2 wrong? Okay, that means we all learned something today. I hope you took a note if it applies to you, so you know when you go shopping, what you need to stay away from. Now, today is National Walking Day. What did I say? What did I say?
National Walking Day.
National Walking Day. So what is it telling you?
Need to walk.
Get out and walk.
Nation is walking.
Get out and walk. Do some walking. National Walking Day. National Walking Day. With that in mind, well, it's been rainy for us here all yesterday and all today. So I don't know if I can walk between the drops, but I sure will get out there somehow. Okay, so let's go to Let's Talk exercise. Again, I encourage you to get in your 30 minutes a day in walking. Good for our health. Let's work on our health and do our part. Shout your names out if you did your week's assignment.
Jenny
Christine.
Jenny. Way to go, Christine.
Ivis.
Good job. Miss Ivis, excellent.
Andrea.
Andrea, way to go. Quickly.
Norma.
Way to go, Norma. Blanche. Anyone else quickly? That's it, who did their week's walking? Okay, the rest of you catch up, okay? Catch up, keep up with your exercise. Now, last week's challenge was, what should you have done?
Listen to
Yeah.
podcast and share.
To some inspirational podcast. Anyone listened?
Yes.
All right. 50 seconds. Share what you learned. Something.
It's about thinking smart, and it's really talking about communication. And what I remember, I read it too early, I listened to it, so I don't remember. It is saying that in making decisions, you have to find people who are like in your court, they believe in you so that they can buy the decision. Another thing, when you're talking and explaining to people, make sure you give the brain a rest. Don't just keep talking and telling them and explaining. You rest so that they can reflect on what you say, and then you continue.
Good. Anybody else listened? Okay, I listened, and this is an exercise that I learned is good for your brain, good brain development. So we are going to, Kyle, could you set the timer for 2 minutes, please? Or what? Make it 1.5. Let's do it 1.5 minutes. And let's see how you're going to help to develop your brain. You are going to make a fist with one hand. I need to see it now on camera so I can see what you're doing. Make a fist and the other hand open. One hand with a fist, the other hand open. So within this 1.5 minutes, you're going to have to reverse this. Whenever you make a mistake, you stop. Let me repeat. You're going to reverse. So this fist will now have to be that. Okay? So when you start getting mixed up and start 2 fists or 2 hands open, stop. Everybody got it? It's for your brain development. Okay. Everybody will make a fist, one hand out, one hand open. And our time, whenever you make a mistake, stop. 1.5 minutes, let's go. Go.
Seconds.
Timer. All right, time is up. So if you were able to do it and you were correct and you weren't 2 fists at one time or this, yes, do this. This helps to develop your brain. This is one because you have to do what? What do you have to do?
Focus.
Focus, concentrate. You can't be any sidetrack because anytime your mind wanders, you are going to lose focus.
I had to develop a rhythm. I keep saying close, open. Close, open, close, open.
This is something I learned as I'm listening to these podcasts. Keep your brain active and develop your brain. So you try that, okay? Keep doing it and teach someone else how to do it to help to develop your brain. So that was last week's challenge. And I want to say, not because it was last week's challenge or the week before that you stop doing it. If it's good for your health and it's good for you, keep doing it. Because I cannot revisit saying, drink 8 glasses of water and we are now 5-6 weeks in. Still drink your 8 glasses of water. Still try to go to bed by 9 o'clock. Still do these things. Still stay away from the sugar as far as possible. So don't say we are finished with that challenge, so I'm free to go. No, there will be no growth. We will have no growth if we reverse. You want to keep doing these things. You keep your exercise going. You keep meditating. You keep doing these things. So it's not just a 1 week and stop. Okay? I hope you have not stopped drinking your water. Yes, no?
No.
Okay, I hope. All right. I hope you haven't. So don't stop and say, oh, I'm glad I could go back to the sugar. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Try to stay. Try to get healthy. So this week's challenge is to watch at least one day, at least the minimum of 1 day. Either watch the sunset or watch the sunrise. Because many of us are in bed by the time the sun rises, so we don't know what the sunrise looks like nowadays. Or we are inside when the sun sets. I want us to take some time and watch either the sunset or the sunrise at least 1 day. Stand up outside or sit outside and actually watch it. See the beauty of nature, see the beauty of what God has made for us. Actually watch it and enjoy watching it. Okay, so that's a moment of reflection time and gratitude. Watch the sunset or the sunrise. And now to our self-care. Hope you've been taking good care of yourself. Self-care. This week, at least once, take a warm bubble bath with music and candles.
Wow.
A little, set this aside. When nobody's home, if you have a noisy house or demanding husband or demanding children, demanding grandchildren, make sure they're out of the way. Get your warm bubble bath. Light your candles, get your music, soft music going, just as if you were going to a spa. Set your atmosphere like a spa and relax and enjoy yourself. Tell me about it next week. Come 10 minutes earlier and tell me about it. Enjoy yourself. Make sure you don't have any distractions so you don't have to be hollering out from the bathroom. Yeah, what you want? No. This is the time to put your phone on mute or leave it out of the bathroom altogether so you don't even hear the ding. Your favorite person will have to wait till your half an hour enjoyment, spa treatment is over. Don't take any phone, no disturbance, just music. And light all the little candles, as many candles as you could find. And nice scented bath bubble and just soak in the bliss and enjoyment. That's called self-care for this week. That's self-care. All right, sounds good? Christine is going.
Yeah.
Well, send Kristen out. Send him to your brother. All right, our recipe. Now, this recipe I'm giving you was by Jim Young because I use a lot of his recipes. I use a lot. And I did this on Sunday. Sunday was my oldest son, Kavi's birthday. So I did a big bang and splash for him. And I cooked this creamy mushroom soup. And Kyle, give a report.
Yeah, it's really good. One of my favorite places to go around town locally, they also have a mushroom soup. And I love their mushroom soup. And so when I was putting this slide together, I was wondering if this was the same soup that my mom gave to me earlier this week. And so I called her and I said, is this the same recipe that you used? And she said, yes. I said, because I love this specific restaurant's soup. And this one is actually better than that one. This one is creamier than, it's more rich. And so I was impressed by it.
Now, this soup is good. You want a good creamy mushroom soup, and you notice it has cashews in it. This is, if you are vegan, this your soup. If you're vegetarian, this your soup. If you're pescatarian, this your soup. If you are, what the meat people call again? Okay. Omnivores, this your soup. This is good. Christine, get your cooking. Send me a picture of your soup. This is good. I'm telling you, this soup didn't last in my house. Didn't last at all. Okay, good. That creamy mushroom soup, it is good. Get that portobello mushroom though, so you get that nice richness. So get to shopping and get to cooking. And now I sent you out to do some more paw painting. You look like you enjoyed that now. We're not doing it this week, but I hope you will continue to develop your skills because I have some more I need to do. I see some folks I want to see what they're doing. Mine has not stopped, but for this platform, if you do a nice painting, of course, send it and show it to me. I am going to continue to paint. I really am going to continue to paint. That's going to become a hobby for me. And I am, before we look at our videos, I'm going to, in fact, I sent out a challenge to 2 of my friends. They must sell some of their stuff. I'm begging you to make money. I'm telling you, it is that good. Sell some of your stuff. Easter coming. People like to spend money. Sell some of your stuff. Let's see what you came up with. Beautiful paintings. Good morning, Let's Talk ladies. Our project this week was to try another paw painting. I tried 3 of them. I did this one using beads and this smaller one also using the beads. I think they came out very beautiful. And then I did the middle one with the cup painting, and the one to my father's right was the balloon kiss. So these are my 3 techniques that I tried on my canvas using paw painting. I am so excited. It came out almost looking professional.
Good afternoon, Let's Talk. Our project this week is to make another paw paint. This is my paw paint for this week. I made it out of these colors: red, orange, yellow, blue, gold, and sky blue. I also put a high gloss finish on it. This is what I bought to do a high gloss finish, and this is my finished product. It doesn't look nice. I love this one. Bye.
Good day, ladies. These are my paint pouring projects. This week I tried 2 new techniques. This one is a feathery swipe. For the other one, I used a strainer. I poured through this strainer to give me that technique. Then I did over my just pour, trying to get it perfected. This one is like fire. This one is like fire and lava. And to me, they are much better than last week. And feathery swipe and my pouring from a silk. This week, we should have used a new technique in our artwork. I tried blobbing and blowing. This is the preamble to the real project. From the leftovers, I created this. This is blobbing. And this is blowing. I use a new paint that gives me a metallic glass. I was satisfied with the outcome.
This vase was used from a pouring method, and the remainder of the paint was done for this canvas. And the vase fell from me and trying to catch it. I lost some of the paint. So I did a special technique that says balloon kissing. So I dipped a balloon into the paint, and the excess paint I use it to make this canvas. So these are the three things I did this weekend, for this weekend pour painting.
Good afternoon, my Let's Talk family. This is my plaque of me from the Cannabis and Flower Garden.
Let's talk. This is my pour painted canvas project for this week. Along with my colors, I added some baking soda to one of them. And if you can see, these are the same colors that I used week before last on my vase. This now completes my decor.
I'm here. So our project today was to make another pour paint on the canvas, and this is my inspiration. You know me well, you know that I like the color turquoise, so this is my inspiration, and I'm going to show you my project for this week. This is my project right here. It's still wet, but I love the way it came out. And I put some little glitter to make it pop a little shine. I can't wait for this to dry. Oh, so this is my masterpiece. It's still wet, like I said, but this is my masterpiece. My inspiration. My project. Bye, Let's Talk.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Mrs. Spence. For my pour project this week, I tried something new. After I poured the paint on one canvas, I turned another canvas over on the top of that one, and when I took it off, this is what I got. These are the results of my pour painting on canvas. My two abstract paintings.
Good job, good job, good job. In fact, I used one of my paintings and I gave it to my oldest son, Kavi, as his birthday gift for him to put in his office. So I thought it was that good for people to see. You see? Yes. How many of you going to continue doing some paw painting? Because there's so many different techniques out there. I was watching up to last night, so I'm going to try some of those. I didn't see it some. So many of you. Well, I know Picasso up there will continue. Good. If you haven't had a chance, oh man, you need to do it. That's amazing. Where do you normally see those paintings? Because as Kavi came in and he said, Mommy, you did that? Those? I said, yes. He said, where you normally see those?
At the craft market.
Where?
At the craft market.
Okay. Abstract paintings.
In a gallery.
Galleries. Hotels.
Yes.
Yes. When you go into hotels, those upscale hotels, too. You see those abstract paintings. So you're moving up with big company. All right. Do some, sell some. All right. Anybody who's not doing any, you want to buy some of mine, I'm selling.
Yeah.
Christine, you don't want to do it, I'll do it and you can buy.
I'm going to really try.
Right.
I'm so impressed.
This week, so we are finished with paw painting, but of course you do some masterpieces. Please send it for me to see. Please send it for me. I want you to have that as another hobby. Sharon, your creative hobby, keep doing it, okay? Yeah, that's a nice, calming, relaxing, creative hobby, non-stress, because every artist will tell you whatever it comes out to is yours, is beautiful. You know,
it's abstract.
Yeah, abstract. That's why it's called abstract. Beautiful. Okay. Someone has a phone going off. Okay, so we are finished with the paw painting, but I need for you to do one more painting on a canvas, but this time you use a brush. You're painting with a brush. And because it's springtime, do a springtime scene. Something to remind you of spring. You're using a brush. And if you can't paint, make just as we did for paw painting, make YouTube your friend. I'm telling you, anything you want to learn, it's there. Go to YouTube and follow those artists and paint a spring scene, okay? And then we'll be finished with paw painting and you keep your paints to continue your crafting. And of course, there are other things that are coming up you will need your paints for.
It's on canvas again?
Yes,
painted. You know my canvas story.
These are permanent. These are for your home, yes. No paper. No paper, paint on canvas, yeah. We're getting to be a professional. We're not doing kindergarten work again, okay? We're going in the big leagues. We're in college.
Annalyn is a professional.
Yes. And you're going to see us going to come out, okay? Paint a spring scene. Let's segue quickly now to unpack Deuteronomy 31, verse 8. Deuteronomy 31, verse 8 reads, the Lord himself goes before you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Now, I want you to share with me very briefly, how many of you have had the experience of driving behind someone to go to a destination? You didn't know where you were going, but you had to follow someone. They say, follow me and I'll take you there. Why were you following that person?
Because they know where they're going. And
they know where the destination is. Any other reason why you following that person?
You trust them.
You trust them to take you to that destination. Any other reason you're following that person?
You want to reach the destination.
So you want to reach that particular destination and not somewhere else.
And there's no other way for me to get there.
That's right. You don't have to use your GPS.
Yeah.
Right? Once you're following the person, you don't normally put on your GPS. Well, what are some things that happens while you are trying to follow this person?
Maybe a car come in between us.
Okay, sometimes a car or other vehicles come in between you and the person you're trying to follow. What happens when that happens?
You have to keep focused so you don't lose track of where that individual is before you. So if you keep watching them.
You find yourself doing when you find that someone came in between you or several vehicles came in.
Get flustered and like call that individual. You're afraid.
That's right. You begin to panic. You begin to sweat. You begin to get anxious. What else you do?
You call the individual. Maybe you call the individual.
Sometimes you're calling them to say, why are you calling them? Because you can't do what?
See them.
See them. You can't see them. They're not visible. And sometimes even getting angry at them. And sometimes you begin to speed up, go faster than you would normally drive because you're trying to catch up with that person. And if there are poor road conditions like fog or snow or ice, or it's nighttime, visibility is poor, so you can't really see the person who's leading you. But this text is not talking about a person. No human is leading you with all these problems we just talked about. It says who is going before us?
The Lord himself.
The Lord himself. You notice the Lord didn't send an angel to go before you. The text is comforting. It's like a warm blanket around you, making you feel cozy inside. It says the Lord himself. You don't want a greater leader than him. The Lord himself is going before us. So our job then is, just as when we are following someone who's leading us to an unknown destination, our job is to keep our eyes on him. If we keep our eyes on him, we will not lose sight of where he's leading us, because he reminds us, he says, I know the plans I have for you. For each of our lives, God has a special plan. All he is asking of us is follow me. I'm going to go ahead of you. And the beauty of this promise is we don't have to worry about getting into any problems as long as we are following the Lord. Because he say, I'm not only going to go ahead of you, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to be like the person who maybe sped up and left you and leave vehicles in between us. Visibility is poor. He said, I'm going to always be there. You could always see me. I'm not going to forsake you. So unlike us following some driver, and we get panicky and we get scared and we get angry and we get anxiety, he says, you don't have to be afraid when life's challenges and frustrations and the seasons of life come at you. You don't have to be discouraged. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. I'm going to help to weave you through life. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be the light in your pathway as you read my words, as you follow me. It says, like the little song, little chorus tune says, if we turn our eyes upon Jesus and look full in his wonderful face, the things of this earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. So always remember and keep this promise etched on the brains, on our brains, the Lord himself. He's not sending anybody, and you don't want better than that. The Lord himself will continue to go before us. Our job is keep your eyes on Jesus. So farther along, we'll know all about it. Thank you again, Christine Powell, for joining us this morning, and Kalantha David. thank you for joining us this morning. And to each of you, thank you for joining us. Remember all the things we have learned. Be resolute in whatever you're going to do. Be intentional. We talked about that last week. Be intentional about taking care of yourselves and trying to implement all the things we have been learning. Remember, worry won't stop bad things from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good. Continue to have a safe day, a happy day, a blessed day. God bless each of you and thank you again.
Thank you, too.